Hi, it's the Beducator, Jeff Shire, owner of Mattress To Go. So you've taken the time to learn a little bit about mattresses, and by that I don't mean you've gone to review sites to see if things are 4 or 5 stars. That's nonsense. But you've actually taken the time to learn about inner springs, the different designs, maybe a little bit about steel. You've learned a lot about foam, the different way that mattresses are put together, the differences in densities and the softness of the foam. And you visited a few shops and you found a mattress that you actually like. Now, how can you be sure that you're paying a fair price for that bed? Well, it's pretty easy to do, and it all starts from education. You need to know the components on the inside of the product. So what you do is you start from the foundation, learn what's on the inside of the foundation. Then the mattress itself, look at the design of the inner spring, see if there's any foam reinforcement around the edge, and then learn about the foam layers placed on top. Look at the number of layers, the thickness of the foam, the density, and the IFD, or the softness of those foam layers. And that will give you a snapshot of what's on the inside of the bed, and that way it's easy to compare model to model from different brands or within the same brand. Now, mattress companies don't make it very easy for you to compare. What they'll usually do within a geographic region is give the same bed a different color covering, or what we call a tick, and they'll put a different label on the bed. So when you have these components, you can compare model to model or apples to apples. If a store doesn't help you know what's on the inside of the product or give you the specifications, then walk out the door. Go to a different store. It's not like there aren't more than 3 places in the world that sell mattresses. The store and the brand should be proud of the specifications and the quality of the componentry that's on the inside of the product. If they're not, like I said, walk away. But once you're armed with this information, you can then logically compare model to model to make sure that you're getting a fair price. And that's your first step. Alright, now you know the components on the inside of the product that you want to compare, so we need to focus on pricing. Now, in the mattress industry, discounts usually cost you money. Well, what do I mean by that? I mean that there's usually a very fictitious regular price that the mattress is listed for in the store, but then they'll back off from that and sell it to you for quite a bit less. There's usually an everyday selling price. So, for example, let's say a bed is fairly priced at $499. Quite often, let's say they'll inflate the price of the bed by $300 to $799, and they'll say, okay, I like you, you're a nice person, so I'm going to take $150 off that price. And you're like, oh, this is awesome. I'm saving $150. But in reality, if the price is overinflated by $300, they're taking $150 off. Where's the savings? You're still spending $150 more than you should. So what you need to do is ignore the 50 to 70% off claims. That's nonsense. Ignore the free televisions, the free frames, the free sheets, the free pillows, all of that stuff. Nothing is free in this industry. Everything is loaded into the cost of the bed. I mean, all these things cost money. And just ask, what is the price for the mattress set itself? That's all I want to know. And once you have the specifications of the bed, so you know that you're comparing equivalent models or something that's very similar, and you have the final price for the product, you can accurately find out if you're getting a good value for that bed. Now, in our industry, the old adage of you get what you pay for isn't necessarily true. People usually think the higher the price point, the better the quality of the product. And just because there's more foam in that bed, or the bed is thicker or taller, or the price is $1,000 more, doesn't necessarily mean it's a better product. That's why you need to become educated. This is a blind product. You can't see on the inside of it. So once you know those specs, once you know the price for the mattress set itself, then you can focus on little things like, the reputation of the store that you visit. How well were you treated? Grab all these things together, and that way you'll determine if you're paying a fair price and it's a good value for the mattress that you want to take home.